Welcome into another edition of Third League Radio. Of course, we're going to talk AEW Dynasty. We'll talk Pat McAfee, Ari Emmanuel, TNA, and more. Let's get to it.
I'm Paul Stanley of KISS. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night, no!
You're listening to your source for pro wrestling talk.
For those that are unaware, my name is Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, I actually used to wrestle for Ring of Honor before I signed with WWE.
You know, that name that you just named, I've never had a one-on-one match here in Impact Wrestling Games for Swan.
This is Third League.
World Women's Champion for NWA. I'm the first ever Mexican-born wrestler to hold this title.
This is the first time someone's introduced me as the Monster Hunter outside of a wrestling show. His psychology was completely different, and it was more lucha style and Japanese style, so I got two completely different kinds of training.
This is Wrestling Radio.
Well, welcome into another edition of Third League Radio. First up on the show, we have got to talk Alberto El Patron. Alberto El Patron, he has been, I don't know, how many times has he been arrested? 3, 4? Either way, add another
20.
one to it. Add another one to it. He's actually out, though. He got arrested for domestic violence again. That seems to be a pattern in his life. But yeah, he's out now after, I don't know, you read something to me really odd. Like, he got his wife's forgiveness, and he has to pay her 1 million pesos.
Yep. That was the settlement.
That's the, hey, you can get out of jail. She's got to get 1 million pesos.
And how much is that?
$57,907.
Not bad.
I mean, you know, I was looking up Chinese currency the other day because it's probably going to be the world currency soon. So I was trying to invest, you know, trying to get some money in. $35 gives me like 2,000 Chinese yen or yuan or whatever you say it. I don't know how to say it. I should probably learn how to say it before I get it. But I mean, I did get paid in pesos once. Bob, here, station that we work at, that we record at. The guy who owns the station, he was asking me to do something. And he told me a price, and I was kind of messing with him, and I was like, did you say that was $3,000 you were going to pay me? And he was like, I'll pay you 3,000 pesos. And so I grabbed the phone, looked it up, and it was more than what he was actually going to pay me. I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. Yeah. So I actually got about $3 more than what he was going to pay me. So maybe look it up if someone says they're going to pay you in pesos. But no, Alberto El Patron out of jail. I don't know. It's some kind of toxicity, I think. This is at least his second arrest for domestic violence.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? How does he keep getting work? Why do people keep working with him? Why do women keep going out with him? It's like, hey, this is on my record. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to overlook that.
He will always have a job. He's too old to work now, but back in the day, he was throwing circles on the AAA guys.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just, honestly, I hope everything good for him, but I don't want to hear about him, to be honest with you, at all.
You're listening to Third League Radio.
But we'll move on to another guy I really don't want to hear about right now, Carlos Silva from TNA. Okay. If you're not aware of what the news is with Carlos Silva, he is pulling wrestlers from AEW shows. Now, whether you believe that's because AEW was preempted and their show was on Thursday night during the NCAA tournament, or whether you believe it's because WWE told him to pull the wrestlers, either way.
You're skipping a whole bunch of details.
I know I am. Either way, it's still not good. But let's get back to the part I skipped. He's pulled Moose from a Major League Pro Wrestling show. Scott D'Amore. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, I'm sorry. From a Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show. Of course, Scott D'Amore, owner of Maple Leaf, used to be the guy in charge of TNA. Now,
well, they've let them work Maple Leaf before. It's not that.
Well, Maple Leaf's, I was getting to, Maple Leaf currently has something of a partnership with AEW. They just had the Ring of Honor.
That's not right either.
They just had the Ring of Honor Maple Leaf Pro Global Wars. So WWE could have said, hey, we'll pull them because of that. But
you know why.
Also, Leon Slater was pulled from a match against Ricochet. And this is at a Creative Pro show. And also at that show, a match that had been advertised, a match that had been set up, a match that had been okayed. A main event match. It was Nick Nemeth against MJF. Awesome. And TNA pulls him at the last minute.
Well, it would have gotten so much hype for that school. It would have gotten a lot of attendance. I mean, it would have been great for both people's careers. But the reason is because they were fighting AEW talent. If they were fighting indie people on the show,
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, of course. But was that because, if you believe Carlos, was it because AEW was on Thursday night, or the more obvious, WWE said, hey, don't?
Your source for pro wrestling and your place for modern rock. This is Third League. Rock and Wrestling Radio.
Speaking of growing up, Ari Emmanuel has got a lot of growing up to do. The man may be one of the richest men in the world. He's president of TKO. He's an idiot. Pat McAfee is not going to be Sylvester Stallone. This is what Ari thinks. He's literally on record as saying Pat McAfee, he wants to make him into the next Sylvester Stallone back in the time when Sylvester had all these hits. Rocky, Rambo, Over the Top.
The problem
Stallone could do no wrong.
The problem is Pat McAfee is this, like, over-the-top, super charismatic, like he feels like he should be in Despicable Me or something.
Yeah, it's not even good. Basically,
it's not the Sylvester Stallone, like, the quiet, but yet...
No, I mean, it's he's trying to recreate something. I don't know. He's ruining WWE. He's ruining WrestleMania. I haven't been a fan of WWE for years. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. I haven't been a fan of WWE for years, and I'm saying Ari Emmanuel's ruining WWE.
He is not the... Paul Levesque is not the head booker. So when you see our year-end awards next year, we will not say Paul Levesque is the booker, because no matter what, Ari Emmanuel can come in, add whatever he wants to the story that they wrote, and he's just okay with it.
Okay, we're assuming that people know what we're talking about because we're used to talking to wrestling fans on a thing. But if you're listening to us on the radio, you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to back up a little bit. There was a pretty good build for a Cody Rhodes-Randy Orton match at WrestleMania. And there's a whole questioning, a whole mystery of who's this person on the phone that Randy's talking to. The voice is in his head. Are they finally going to be revealed? Who is this person? And you've got all these thoughts going through your head, and when the final big reveal comes...
Okay, on the phone they were like, there's more than one royal family, and everyone was thinking, oh, it's going to be Undertaker, it's going to be Arn Anderson, it's going to be this and this and this.
And it's Pat McAfee. It's Pat McAfee who shows up. And the whole thing is just not accepted by anyone. No one likes it. And you would think that the company would see that and try to change direction or do something else.
There is rumors that they are thinking about it now.
But
2 weeks has already ruined the build.
They go on SmackDown, and Pat McAfee gives his promo about how everything sucks. No one likes WWE. Randy Orton's the only reason to watch. And then he's like, oh, by the way, we're discounting ticket prices by 25%.
Oh, no. The announcement was he called Ram the sponsor of WrestleMania, and they're picking up 25% of the tickets. But there was a glitch on the code on Ticketmaster. When you put in the code, it added 25% to the tickets.
I mean,
I don't even know how you do that.
I don't even know how people are buying tickets to WrestleMania. I saw a report today about SummerSlam. Front row tickets are going to be $25,000 for SummerSlam. And I was like, man, that's a lot. And then they were like, this is good news because it's down $15,000 from last year. And I'm like, they were $40,000 for front row at SummerSlam last year? What in the hell? Off a show that, honestly...
I don't even remember what happened on that show.
Honestly, the entire product of WWE is shit. And it's not worthy of $40,000. There is nothing in WWE worthy of a $40,000 ticket. Hold on, I'm gonna say something. People might not know where we're at, but we are in southern Oklahoma. There is a place called Hochatown. It's becoming like a little mini Branson. It's by a lake. It's great, except for the fact that it's being gentrified all to hell. Bootsy Badass came down, did a show in Hochatown, charged $10,000 for a VIP seat. I laughed. I said, no one's going to pay that. People bought it, and they had a great time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one who's like, why are you charging thousands of dollars for this shit?
Someone's going to buy it, but the problem is, well, for one, the people who are buying it don't have that cash liquid. They took out a mortgage or something. But here's the other part. TKO wants them to be like UFC, where it's only super rich people and celebrities, and the tickets are out the wazoo, and you got to pay $200 to watch the pay-per-views.
Talking wrestling around the world. This is Third League.
here's the thing that I wanted to bring up, that I have noticed that WWE's subsidiaries, AAA, NXT, TNA, are doing better with fan than Raw, than SmackDown, than their top shows.
NXT has a core base that will never leave, and then they fluctuate with the casual watchers, which is really good. They're doing really well. The show's not great, but Women's of Wrestling isn't great, and they get 300 viewers every single week because they have a loyal fan base.
Okay, I will say, we're going to go on Cage Match here. We're going to look at just the last week in WWE products. TNA Rebellion. No, wait, we'll start with AAA on Fox, episode number 13. This is Fox in Mexico. Episode number 13. The highest rating, cage match rating of all WWE
products. Is that because
products.
of Penta and Vikingo?
Yep, it's got an 8.23. Penta defeat El Hijo del Vikingo in the main event of that one.
Yeah.
Original Grande Americano would defeat Octagon Jr. earlier in the show as well. But that got an 8.23 on Cage Match. That's the highest fan-rated show of the week. We go down to TNA Rebellion, 6.23 on what was, well, by all accounts, a lackluster pay-per-view. I think Mustafa Ali winning the TNA International title was probably the highlight of the night.
From what I heard, there was only 2 good matches, and most of the matches either had a ref bump or an interference.
Yeah.
So WCW 2001.
Now, I will say, for the main products of WWE, Raw did slightly beat NXT. 5.69 rating for Raw, while NXT had a 5.32.
Well, Raw is only being held up by Punk and Roman Reigns. There's nothing else of substance on that show.
And SmackDown. It's just not good. SmackDown right now, from this Friday night, is another low point in about the last 4 or 5 weeks. We've got a 1.4. Now, it's higher up than the 0.83 I saw a few days ago, but
the problem is these matches aren't great. The chemistry between these people, I'm just seeing, like, it feels like you're just putting big names together. None of these matches look like they will be good. And then your main event, Jade Cargill versus Io Sky. Io Sky loses clean, and Io Sky doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. Why not? I mean, maybe they are gonna announce this later, but this should have been like a DQ or a count out, and Io Sky should get a title match at WrestleMania, and we should finally be able to see Jade Cargill's training. Royce Keys,
he makes his debut and no one cares.
Because he fought Humberto Carrillo.
But
the problem with this show, they had Danhausen and Kit Wilson, which was a travesty to pro wrestling. But the problem here is they had Pat McAfee come out again and do another promo saying the show sucks.
Yeah, no, well,
you can't say your show sucks on your own show when the show actually sucks. That's WCW.
I mean, the thing about
that's Vince Russo. I'm not wrong.
The thing about this is it's crappy writing. There is no thought put into the stories at all. No thought put into the show. It's just like, hey, give them something. We'll go out there and say the same catchphrases over and over again, and they'll cheer, yay, because they're supposed to. And that's all it is. I mean, like you said, Monday night, you've got people actually trying to work. As much as I hate Phil, he's trying to work, even though it's just, But he's doing the best with what he's given. You take a look at NXT, they're actually trying to find stories for people. They're actually doing something. It's a decent show. The same thing with AAA. They're trying to find stories. TNA's trying to find stories to build these things around. And WWE's just giving us shit. They're just giving us crap, thinking they'll eat it because they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing, the Pat McAfee thing brings down the whole company. You can't say the whole company sucks and then have Punk do a scripted pipe bomb where he says, the tickets are too expensive, lower the tickets, God. I want families to come.
The scripted pipe bombs are so pathetic. Who thought that was a good idea? Was it Ari Emmanuel? Is he the one who was
Probably.
like, yeah, we gotta write a pipe bomb in here?
Probably. But it brings down the whole thing because even though Punk and Roman aren't really attached to it, they are. And now he's telling people not to watch the show unless it's for Randy. So you're telling people that Punk and Roman doesn't matter.
Yeah, right? That's what they're saying. And I don't know.
Which that's the match that people should care about.
Everything about WWE right now is just...
They have two great main events and they're not going to do it.
It's insulting to the intelligence of their fans. And sadly, their fans keep watching, so I guess I got a question, is it really that insulting?
Third League Radio.
Well, time to talk about a wrestling show for the week, the biggest wrestling show of the month of April, AEW Dynasty. You know, we normally don't talk 0 Hour, but we're going to talk 0 Hour a little bit here because we had...
It's kind of trash.
We had a big return, Camille. She came back.
She beat up Willow beforehand, making Willow... I don't think she actually did a match. Maybe she was going out there to do it, and then...
She had a match, Big Ann. She defeated her, but yes, she did beat Willow up. The national title was on the line as Jack Perry defeated Mark Davis, and again, they're calling him Jungle Jack, and I want to have a sit-down with Tony where I just yell at him for about 8 minutes about Jungle Jack.
You know what's crazy? Marco Stunt was at GCW Maniac a few weeks ago, and Jack Perry came out to save him, and he looked like a scapegoat. He was wearing a leather jacket.
I know, because that's who Jack Perry is. Tony's still trying to make him into Jungle Boy. Oh, Jungle Man, I'm sorry. No, you leave the fucking jungle alone, Tony.
Maybe it's part of a bigger identity crisis.
It's not. Tony's just being WWE here. And I hate it when he does that. He's like, but this is what's going to make them sing. Stop. Let the man grow.
Well, they're getting more attendance and viewers. So.
Whoa, fuck you, Tony. Moving on to the main event of the pre-show. The Women's World Tag Team title, Divine Dominion, would retain against Hyan and Maya World. Saw a lot better work from... this is really kind of the...
This was the best women's tag team title match ever.
I was going to say, you saw a lot better work from Megan Bayne, but maybe kind of growing because of who she was in the ring with. But
she's getting a little more comfortable in the tag setting, I think. Hyan and Maya World are really, really good, so...
Decent main event. But I want to talk... This is the pre-show. This is the 0 Hour. We were talking about cage match ratings earlier, comparing, WWE to the subsidiaries. The 0 Hour got a 6.41. Better than everything WWE related, with the exception of the AAA show. Better than the TNA pay-per-view, Monday Night Raw, all of that. That's just so crazy to me. But we're going to move on to the main show, the highest rated show of the week on Cage Match with an 8.57. We'll start off with the opening match. Before we get into this, though,
I thought this was great.
Well, I do want to say the length of the pay-per-views in AEW are longer. They're 4-hour pay-per-views, fine if you're counting the pre-show, but this one, it didn't feel rushed and it didn't feel slow. It's like they worked out the timing on this one. You can say what you want about this match or that match or whatever, but the timing on the show was really good.
Yeah, you can't say this first match was too long. If they had kept it going a little bit more, but I understand why they did the false finish because of what happened at the end.
But it was the Young Bucks taking on Okada and Konosuke Takeshita, and we knew going into this that the rivalry between Okada and Takeshita was going to be a story in the match, and in fact, it was. I thought it was going to turn into a story of, yes, we don't like each other, but we're still on the same team, and it looked like that, where Okada and Takeshita were trading shots, trading forearms with each other, and then the Bucks tried to come in and they get the Bucks before they go back to trading shots with each other.
Oh yeah, they worked together really well. The Young Bucks, they felt like 2019 Young Bucks. So they super kicked everybody.
But that was the story I thought it was going to turn into, was Okada and Takeshita hating each other but still working together to come away for the win. And you missed the false finish. There was a great time, a great spot for it to end right there, and there's a kick out. And we're like, why is there a kick out? Why is Okada kicking out here?
And then they set up for the Tony Khan driver.
Yeah, and I forget who's on the outside. I don't know if it's
it was
Matt or Nick. But one of them's on the outside, and they're about to do the springboard in, and Takeshita grabs the foot, and you're thinking, oh, here comes, and then Takeshita just drops the foot and says, go ahead.
And walks away.
Bam, springboard in, they get the win. Don Callis is upset.
He's freaking out.
But that's the point. Takeshita Okada, it's leading to one of possibly the greatest matches in AEW history.
Yeah, I thought this was a 5-star tag match.
Yeah, but it had a great match and left you with a story to look forward to. We'll move on to a singles match right after this. The return of Chris Jericho. He would be taking on Ricochet.
This was too long, but he wrestled great. He didn't stumble. He didn't make any mistakes. He had an amazing coat breaker out of nowhere. I mean, this was good. This was a good match. This was his best match that I've seen him do in AEW since before 2021. Like 2022 and up, he was kind of getting sluggish.
Now, I think Ricochet, was he coming in with the shooting star and gets caught with the code breaker? Yeah, that was great. That was well, one of the highlights of Chris Jericho, and it was just his debut match or return match.
And Jericho took a lot of bumps too.
But in a match I did not think I was going to like, but I wound up liking. Didn't really like the end of it, even though I knew it was coming. Darby Allin would defeat Andrade El Idolo, which would give Darby Allin a title shot. He's going to have up on Wednesday. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, seriously, I think Andrade should have won this match. Maybe that's my Darby bias. I don't think Darby should ever have a title. I don't think Darby should ever have the main title. He just should not, to me. The same way I don't think Orange Cassidy should. But, I don't know.
So, I think the booking of this was pretty bad. I think they should have moved this Andrade and Darby match to Wednesday. The reason why is because once Darby won this match, I knew 100% that MJF was retaining, because they're not going to do a heel versus a heel when they don't have any really story there. Darby and MJF are pillars, face versus heel. They're going to do something.
This is what it was weird to me. Darby did not make this with the claim of, I want to be the number one contender. He said, MJF, I'm going to take on Andrade, and if I win, give me a title shot. And MJF said, okay. But in commentary, everyone was like, we'll see who Darby takes on. Will it be Kenny or MJF? Are you not paying attention to your own story? It cannot be Kenny. If Kenny wins, Darby doesn't have a title shot. I don't know, man. Something about that is just like, pay attention, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the World Tag Team title, though. As, in a surprise to me, FTR would retain against Cage and Cope. I thought Copeland and Cage were going to get the titles here and become the first, I guess their first tag title reign in AEW. But it was a 21-minute flat match, and I can kind of see why they didn't win.
Yeah, I mean, they just came back, and FTR is FTR. You had the Stokely antics. They busted up Adam Copeland really early on. I mean, he had a lot of blood coming out. It was crazy at the end of the match, that visual. Yeah, I mean, they worked really well as a tag team, obviously, so... And that they didn't look like they lost a step. Like, they didn't look like they were gone for a year.
Oh, no, But, I mean, that's guys who've been doing it for decades, you know? The TNT title Casino Gauntlet match. This was surprising to me. It goes on to my theory of Tony has his favorites that he picks, and they get the win. But Kevin Knight would become the new TNT champion.
Well, okay. The point of this was to send the fans home happy, because Kyle Fletcher got hurt. Unfortunately, he wasn't supposed to get hurt. He wouldn't have lost the title at all. And then Tony just wanted someone who's a face, who's gonna be a little bit over with the fans, who the fans know, who the fans will be like, oh yay, he's TNT champion.
But the fans know everybody in this match.
But you have to have someone who can fight Kyle Fletcher.
Tommaso Ciampa. He was the obvious choice, but he's not a Tony Khan favorite.
Yes,
Kevin Knight is a Tony Khan favorite. Kevin Knight will always get the win, or he will... Like, Kevin Knight should have never beat Okada, but he's a Tony Khan favorite, so he beat Okada. He should have been waiting 3, 4, 5 years before he's getting these types of wins. But he's a Tony Khan favorite. That's my theory. Willow, Orange Cassidy, I mean, I can make a case for it.
Okada's first match in New Japan after Excursion, he wins the world title. You don't think that was good?
Okay. You're trying to compare apples to oranges. You're trying to go, nuh-uh, what about? What about? Don't do whataboutism. Look at the story on the page right here.
That's how
Orange Cassidy did not deserve to be where he was when he was there. Willow does not deserve to be where she is when she's there. Kevin Knight does not deserve to be where he's at right now. Do you think Willow deserves to be the first female tag team champion?
The
no.
problem is,
no.
Once a wrestler gets signed, that is your first knowledge of them. You have no idea that he's been wrestling for 10, 15 years.
I know who Kevin Knight is. I've watched Kevin Knight for a while. I've watched Kevin Knight and Kota Ibushi. I mean, the thing is, sure, bring him in. He's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying he's a Tony favorite. He's taking spots that he doesn't deserve right now. Other people have worked for those spots, and Tony's like, no, you're not my favorite. Vince did the same thing. This has to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. We can't just I get it, you're the owner, so you're going to pick your favorites. Hey, look, be man enough to know when you're not working. Be man enough. The thing I will give, and I don't give Vince McMahon any credit at all, so I'm sorry. But the thing I will give Vince McMahon credit, when he saw that the fans wanted Bryan Danielson and that they were not going to take him being pushed back, he went all in. Go all in when you people are not, when people were not vibing with Orange Cassidy, why did you still try to push him? Back him up. He's trying to force things. That's what I think. That's why I don't like Kevin Knight winning the title right now. Not that he doesn't have potential, not that he's not good, not that he is not hasn't been wrestling for 10 years or whatever, but the thing is, Ciampa, Roosh, Pac, they're all in the match, and Kevin Knight gets the win? Come on.
Again, you don't want a heel to face Fletcher. Also, no one wants to see Kyle Fletcher, Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle Fletcher, Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle Fletcher. It's Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe all over again. We want different champions.
Tommaso Ciampa never even got a chance to have a reign with the belt. He had 2 weeks, and that's it. No, man, come on.
Because he just joined the company. You can't give him more reigns than people who have been there longer.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tony's
Hulk
favorites.
Hogan coming in and winning 3 WCW world titles and ahead of everybody else.
Why do you think Darby Allin's getting a title shot? Tony Khan favorite. Come on. Let's just be honest.
Everyone who needs the title has won it already.
Let's just be honest. It's a Tony Khan favorite. Come on. I know you like Tony Khan and you think I'm just being a dick like all the other people. But come on, dude.
I say all the time that he makes mistakes. You just don't like Darby Allin.
You don't, but see, you don't think that he has favorites, and that's why they get pushed. That's my point. Is yes, he has favorites. Yes, that's why they get pushed.
But it makes sense.
Yes, that's why Orange got pushed.
If Andrade won, then Kenny would have won the title because they have a story because of the number one contenders tournament.
But see, that's the thing. It wasn't a number one contenders match.
That's how they said it on commentary.
But it wasn't because Darby Allin said, "Hey MJF, if I beat Andrade, give me a shot at your title." MJF said yes. That's not a number one contenders match. That's Darby saying MJF, hey, and MJF going, okay. He didn't say whoever wins this match gets a shot at the title. That's a number one contenders match.
That's pretty much what I thought it was, because if Andrade beats Darby, if Darby won, he would have been next in line. So if Andrade won, he would have beat the guy that would have been next in line, so Andrade gets the belt.
That's not how it happened. That's not how it was announced on TV, I'll say. But we spent too much time on this. Let's move on to the women's world title. As Tekla, she would get the win defeating Jamie Hayter. And this one, I will say, I was pretty sure that Hayter was going to get the win because, again, in my mind, she's a Tony favorite. I'll give it credit here. That's not what happened, and I like that because Tekla needs that title for a little bit longer. She needs to assert herself as the top baddie in the women's division, as the top bad guy, as the top heel.
Well, you gotta think of what makes sense and not what you think Tony Khan will do. It made no sense for Hayter to win the title here.
It kind of did because he's pushing the Brawling Birds or whatever, and
but I thought
Windsor has a championship.
They should focus on the tag.
Hayter get a championship, and they still tag. That's what I thought was going on here because I don't think they're going to be the tag champions next. I think hopefully they don't jump Sisters of Sin, but they very well could.
Then they're not building the division.
I mean, Sisters of Sin should have been the first champion. Sisters of Sin should be the next champion. I don't know why he's not putting a belt on them, but if Brawling Birds jumps Sisters of Sin, then yes, that's a Tony Khan favorite. Continental title match. This one surprised me because I thought Death Riders and United Empire were going to be out at ringside. They were not. This was Mox. This was Will Ospreay.
Well, it's Continental. You can't have anyone at
by
ringside.
themselves. I get that now. But the other thing that confused us is 20-minute time limit.
Yeah, okay. So the reason why Moxley and Takeshita
had no time limit last time
was because pay-per-view matches were an hour and TV matches were 20 minutes. They wanted you to guess, is it over an hour, is it not? But now they're saying that pay-per-view matches are 20 minutes.
Yes, I mean, we mentioned this a little bit earlier with the title thing. Pay attention to your own story, guys. Come on now. It's just these little things that we got to kind of work out here. But yeah, no, this was a good match. It was
a great match. Ospreay took lessons from Danielson. He sold that neck really well.
There was a spot. I mean, you can call it a no-sell, but it's more like because Mox hits a move and then Ospreay immediately pops back up with the hidden blade, but then they're both out.
Mm-hmm.
They're both out for an extended amount of time. So I was on social media at that time, which idiots on social media, everything. That's a no-sale. Shut the fuck up and go back to your mom's basement, idiot. But yeah, I hate when people say that shit, but this made perfect sense on that. I'm going to have to edit the hell out of the show. Move on to the World Trios title. Conglomeration.
This surprised me because the point was to have a Canadian win and Kyle O'Reilly returned. Because no other Canadian was going to win on the show.
And again, a Tony Khan criticism for me. Quit changing the titles every fucking week, Tony. The Dogs just won the titles
yesterday.
From Mystico.
Saturday. Okay. They won them Saturday.
No, hold on. Let's go back a bit. Because Mystico and Jet Speed just won the Trios titles like a week ago. The Dogs just won the title on
Go
Saturday.
back before that. You had Jet Set Rodeo, who lost it to...
Yeah, okay. I forget if they lost it to Death Riders, I think. Was it?
I think so.
But then, real quick turnaround.
No, it was on Callis Family.
Oh, Callis Family. Quick turnaround. Like, the next week, Mystico and Jet Speed win it.
Uh-huh.
Then, like, the next week, here comes someone else with it. The Dogs won it. And then now...
The day later...
Conglomeration has it. Like, whoa, what the hell are you doing? I get it. You want to have title changes. You want to build the division. But if the title doesn't mean anything, what are you building?
My opinion, you got to flip it back to the Dogs and just have them hold it for a year.
But I mean, it was the return of Kyle O'Reilly.
He looks great.
Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, now actually friends. I don't think Roderick's going to turn on the Conglomeration like I felt last week. So I don't know what's going on with this. But
there was some tag issues where I think it was at the very beginning of the match where like Kyle tagged Roderick, so Roderick was legal. But then Kyle tagged Orange, so they made Orange legal.
That
didn't make any sense.
But yeah, I mean, we could talk about the good and the bad with this show, but the bad is just little nitpicky things that we've been talking about like that, like getting your story right, getting things like this. Why is the title changing hands all the time? The good is everything else. All the matches are really good. The stories are good. I mean, they're just... Right now, they're the best wrestling company in the world if you're not counting CMLL. We'll move on to the main event because this was almost a 40-minute main event, 38 minutes, 56 seconds. MJF would retain in a grueling match against Kenny Omega. I really did like this.
Yeah, I thought it was going to end multiple times. They did have MJF kick out of the one-winged angel, but it was after like 20 seconds, so it didn't really count. MJF focused a lot on the stomach. I mean, Kenny sold really well, and then the tombstone through the table from the apron that MJF likes to do.
Wow, really? Yeah, I remember that, yeah. But no, I mean, this was a really good match, and I, again, social media. Okay, if you didn't watch this, when you get on the, right before it's got the big promo screen, it's the devil, MJF, versus the god of pro wrestling, Kenny Omega. I'm on... I forget what it was. I'm guessing Facebook after the match or whatever, and I'm seeing this guy just crash out, lose his shit. They're putting all this anti-Christian imagery on AEW. What is Tony Khan doing? All the comments are like, the McMahons versus Shawn Michaels and God. Undertaker crucifying. I'm like, oh my God, dude. These people cannot get...
That's still an infamous moment where they lost like a bunch of viewers. Vince McMahon on Raw going, "Bring out God."
Yeah, these people and their, like, seriously, religious psychosis should be like a a thing. That should be like a mental disease. We should have help for that. There should be people, a therapist you can go see that help you with religious psychosis because you're watching this going, it's the devil. Come on, bud. Seriously, get some help.
The real life devil just beat the God.
Yeah, no, he wasn't mad about Kenny Omega calling himself God.
No, they're fine with that. Trump does that all the time.
Oh my God.
Trump's effect on pro wrestling is making them believe that MJF is the devil.
But yeah, that's our look at AEW Dynasty, the good and the bad of it all. Cage Match gives it a 8.57, the highest rated show of the week. I'll go about that. It was just about a 9 for me.
Yeah, I'd say 8.
Yeah, that's our look at AEW Dynasty.
This week in history.
All right, let's move on. This week in history, the week we're looking at April 6th through the 12th. And we're going to start in 1997 on my birthday. April 7th, 1997, Ultimo Dragon would become the new WCW World Television Champion. Let's see. April 11th, 1964, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers would be declared the first WWF champion because Vince McMahon Sr. defected from the NWA, so they had to have their own champion. And instead of having a match, he was like, here you go, take a belt. April 9th, 2000, ECW champion would sign, or the ECW champion Mike Awesome, he would sign with WCW. That would start a chain of events that would basically see Mike Awesome become public enemy number 1 in ECW, or basically in the eyes of anyone associated with ECW. He would have to lose the title, which led to a really odd match. You had Taz, that time a WWE wrestler, wrestling Mike Awesome, a WCW wrestler, for the ECW title in an ECW ring. Of course, Taz would eventually win the title. Unbeknownst to people at that time, WWE was kind of funding ECW under the table through the back doors and things like that. So
they were a small little thing, and then he got Paul Heyman got greedy with the little bit of money that Vince McMahon was handing him, and he promised money to people that he couldn't end up fulfilling. He gave people blank checks. He gave people, I owe you this much slips.
Yeah, Yeah, it was not a good time for the end of ECW there. Paul Heyman should never be trusted with any kind of business ever again. April 10th, also in 2000s, the very next day after that, WCW Monday Nitro took place in Denver, Colorado. It was off air the week earlier. There was no Monday Nitro. They skipped a week, then they came back.
That was normal back then.
The most infamous Monday Nitro of all time. Because what happened? The Great Reset. They dropped all storylines, dropped all titles.
We watched that.
Yep, and I don't know, man. I don't know why anyone would decide to do this, but they thought this is going to be the next step to go, and they did it, and I mean, yeah, it's one of those historical things that you can't not talk about, but
if you think about it, a yearly reset is kind of done, but you don't do it like that.
All at once. You just drop everything. I don't know, that was strange. But that is This Week in History.
Match of the week.
All right, so let's move on to Match of the Week. And for me, it's got to come from Dynasty, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
My honorable mention.
I'm going to go with MJF and Kenny.
That's your honorable mention? Okay. My honorable mention is going to be the Continental title match. Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay. That's my honorable mention this week.
I'm going with the match of the week is the tag match, the Young Bucks and Don Callis family.
Okay, I can see that. I'm going to go your honorable mention for my match of the week. MJF, Kenny Omega. That's almost 40 minutes, and it's, I don't want to say a different style of match than I've seen MJF work, because he can work pretty much anything, but you see the growth in MJF, every match, every week. This one, as much as MJF's grown, as good as he is, you saw him get better in this match.
You were like, they got to end at 11. I was like, no, they're in the West Coast. It's only 9 o'clock. They can go for 2 more hours, and they went for 40 minutes.
But yeah, that is our match of the week.
And after it's all over, you say, oh, what a lovely tea party.
Third League. Wrestling Radio.
All right, upcoming shows. Let's look at upcoming shows. And, of course, we're going to talk WrestleMania. It is coming up, I don't know. We'll look at Saturday. This just doesn't look appealing to me, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I know. Let's look at this.
The first two matches of Saturday are also going to be aired on ESPN2, so there's a little bit of a pre-show on ESPN2,
right?
I guess, if you want to call it that.
Right. So that's why the first two matches feel like a TV show, because it's going to be free.
It's a six-man tag match: LA Knight and the Usos versus Show Speed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul. We gotta stop.
Show Speed, all he can do is take a bump. He can't wrestle.
We gotta stop putting people in there. Jelly Roll doesn't deserve to be there. Show Speed doesn't deserve to be there. When you talk about celebrities, people like Paul Walter Hauser, who actually learn the business, let them in there. I mean, god dang it, I hate Logan Paul, and I'll even say Logan Paul can work a little bit. He can't work by himself. You can't tell him to go in and just do a match and not give him any kind of direction, which I think Paul Walter Hauser could do.
The only person that can do that is Bad Bunny, and he sings literally like 4 times a week, so like there's no way he would be here. Jelly Roll, though, he doesn't work at all. He just eats, so...
But anyway, another match on WrestleMania Saturday night, the unsanctioned match, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, which honestly, if that wasn't in WWE, that had the chance to be a really good match.
No, they're just going to be walking around the ring for 20 minutes.
I know. Then there's the women's tag title fatal 4-way as the Irresistible Forces will defend against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, as well as Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and the Bella Twins, Brie and Nikki. The women's Intercontinental match will be AJ Lee putting the title on the line against Becky Lynch. I expect Lynch to get that one.
Yeah, because AJ Lee sucks. I mean, it's just...
Mr. Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins will be on in a singles match against Gunther.
Now, this is probably the best match on the whole card. Wait. The Pat McAfee match isn't on Sunday?
No, it's not. It is on Saturday. It's coming up after the Women's World Title match against Stephanie Becerra and Liv Morgan, but Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with Pat McAfee.
So the lineage of the WCW title is headlining Sunday. Interesting.
Yep. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi is kicking off Sunday. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is headlining. Let's see. Let's go down here. Yes, it is. It's ESPN free, not ESPN2 free.
Wow.
The Intercontinental title is also free. A 6-pack ladder match. Penta defending against Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough, Rusev, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans.
See, that'll probably be good. Brock Lesnar and Obafemi has the potential to be good. Everyone wanted to watch that, but...
It's just going to be 2 big guys doing suplex. It's going to be reminiscent of 1987.
Well, here's the problem. I cannot listen, or I cannot like Brock Lesnar and also watch a match of his, but the problem here is, like you said, they're not going to let Brock do anything. It's going to be suplex, staring at each other, maybe some chops.
Yep. Punches, staring at each other, trying to knock each other down. One can't knock the other down.
Because if you let Brock Lesnar actually wrestle, he's going to kill Obafemi.
I mean, go watch... People talk about this match like it's so good. Go watch Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. That's going to be this match. It's going to be crap. United States title match. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams. I think Trick's probably going to get that one. Women's title. I think Rhea Ripley's going to get the win over Jade Cargill. I don't think she's going to take the title.
Yeah, no Io Sky. This is really bad.
Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor. I'd say Dominic's getting the win in that one.
I guess this is for Leader of the Judgment Day. I don't really care.
No. They kicked Finn Balor out of Judgment Day. This is Finn Balor trying to get retribution.
Is he going to bring his new team?
I don't know. I don't think he has a new team. The
Humberto
world title,
Carrillo?
Huh?
It's going to be Humberto Carrillo and Angel.
Oh, yeah. So the World Heavyweight title is CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I think CM Punk probably holds on to that one. But that's
Whoa.
What?
Are we in 2008? Why is Nickelback the theme for WrestleMania?
It's a 2005 mix with Aerosmith and Youngblood back in the saddle as well. So you gotta. Youngblood. Okay. I hate that. We're from Southern Oklahoma, and every time I hear someone say Youngblood, I want to hit them in the fucking head. Youngblood. Shut up, old ass. Fuck you. Moving on to upcoming shows. The biggest show of that WrestleMania weekend, Effie's Big Gay Brunch 11. That's coming up with GCW. Zack Sabre versus Effie is going to highlight that one. Let's see. Also in action, Mercedes Martinez and Vipress. If we move over just a little bit later on in the day, Joey Janela's Spring Break.
This is always a good show.
The immortal clusterfuck.
yeah. It's always very terrible, but there's always some fun people in there. Like we've seen,
Santana Jackson's going to be in the clusterfuck match as well.
I've seen wrestlers who were 70 years old jump in there.
Well, new TNA signing Ricky Sosa is going to be in there. You see that. Bobby Flay,
Haley
J. KJ Orso, yeah.
If you don't know Haley J, you need to be watching Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
But KJ's got a special place on the show. He was the first wrestler to guest on the show, actually. So, yeah, very cool. My first wrestling interview. But that is that's a look at all your upcoming shows, and that is our show for this week. We'll step away. We'll see you next time. It's Third League Radio.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Third League Radio. Download the latest episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Catch the live radio show every weekend starting at 10 p.m. You can listen live every Friday night at mix961.net. This has been Third League Radio.